that we'll see in week 3. But week 1, we got a long-standing rivalry between the Giants and the Cowboys playing out. Jane Slater making her first appearance on NFL Game Day morning. Good morning to you, Jane.
Good morning, Rich. Well, the Cowboys didn't have a lot of their key starters on offense throughout training camp because of injuries, but today they get them all back just in time for week 1. When you look at this Pro Bowl group of guys like Zach Martin, Tyron Smith, as well as Amari Cooper, they all return. Amari Cooper looking especially good in practice this week, really fluid, no lingering signs of that left muscle strain. And as for Ezekiel Elliott, well, at the end of that holdout in the new deal, we're expecting about 20 to 25 snaps from him with the rookie Tony Pollard and fullback Jameis Olawale filling in the gaps. If that news doesn't get Michael Irvin fired up, then maybe this NFL-inspired clip will.
Good job, nice, man. He's rapping around here.
Mike.
Yeah, I like that.
All right,
now I like that.
Now here's vintage footage of Mariucci and Steve Young set to a polka.
What's the matter with you? Next week.
That's next week in NFL 100?
That was cool, though. Man.
Irv, this is the best chance since then, right? Yeah?
Yeah, yes.
Are we overreacting by saying that?
No, we're not. No, we're not. And we're not talking about we know the main characters, the main guys, but the depth on this team is incredible. And Kurt, I'm telling you right now, the Kellen Moore move. I was not on board with that move early on. But when I started talking to these guys on that football team, I started changing my mind. I heard Ezekiel Elliott and these guys talk about the input that they have a chance at now that they did not have a chance at before. He says, hey, man, nobody listened to us before. This guy will listen. I think that will carry over big. This is the best chance the Cowboys had to get to a Super Bowl since yours truly took them there. Yes, it is.
No question, the most complete team that they've had. Young defense, they got ability to rush the passer. They got those linebackers.
That defense is good
guys on the back end. Obviously, the offensive line and Zeke being back. But, again, it all comes down to the quarterback position. And we've seen moments. No, we've seen moments. I'm telling you, I love Dak. I think Dak does a lot of things well. But I think he's going to have to be better this year. You see it right here. I mean, he gets out on the move. He can be a special player.
Nice
look at that. Rolling to his left, drops a dime. Watch this. He got pressure in your face. Deep comeback, pressure in your face, balls on the money. Dak has the ability to do this stuff. We've seen it at times.
Wow.
I just want to see more consistency. This is what we saw in preseason. Michael, you got to make these. You got to make these layups if you're going to compete for Super Bowls. You can't miss those kinds of throws, and that's just what I've seen as he's grown up. He's missed too many of those layups. That, to me, is the difference. They got all the other pieces, the pass game, wide receivers, quarterback. Can they take it to the next level? If they can, coupled with everything else, I think they've got a great chance to compete for a championship.
Yeah, I think this is the best chance. I'm not going to crown them yet. Mike, I'm not crowning your guys yet. They've only won one playoff game together, all right? They haven't really been knocking at the door. Now, if they're all healthy and all there, I like them a lot. I like their roster. And you mentioned the defense, Kurt. This is a great young defense. It was a top 10 defense. How about Leighton Vander Esch from Boise State? He's one of the great tacklers in the league. And they just signed Jalen Smith to a new speed on defense. And DeMarcus Lawrence. I mean, this bunch on defense, coached by Rod Marinelli, man, is scary. So are they a complete team? Yes. Now they got to show us week in and week out and finish strong.
I know that there are no earthquakes there, but Irv's Cowboys playing for a Super Bowl in Miami would be a seismic event.
It is heaven on earth.
Event.
It is absolutely heaven on earth. You're absolutely right, buddy.
Just throwing that out there.
Yes.
Go into the